In the shadow of ancient Canaan, the sun rises over a land stained with blood. The story begins with a promise and a covenant, a divine assurance that a chosen people will inherit a land flowing with milk and honey. Yet, as the sun sets, the promise turns to ash, and the covenant becomes a curse. This is the tale of the Deuteronomistic history, a narrative spanning from Joshua to Roman 2 Kings, where the divine and the human weave a tapestry of conquest, fidelity, and eventual betrayal. The book of Joshua opens with a thunderous command, "And they did not leave any that breathed." Joshua, the successor of Moses, leads the Israelites into a genocidal campaign against the Canaanites. The land, once a promise of peace and prosperity, becomes a battlefield of relentless slaughter. City after city falls to the sword, and the Israelites, driven by divine mandate, show no mercy. The annihilation is thorough, leaving no survivors, no witnesses to the wrath of a God who demands absolute obedience. The conquest of Canaan is a brutal affair, but it is also a testament to the unity and zeal of the Israelites under Joshua's leadership. They are a people united in their mission, and the Lord delivers victory after victory. The destruction of Ai, with its 12,000 inhabitants, is a stark example of the ruthlessness that marks this period. The town is set ablaze, and its people are hunted down and slaughtered, leaving only the king to be impaled as a final act of retribution. The land is desecrated, and the Israelites claim their spoils, a grim reminder of the price of divine favor. At Shechem, the story takes on a symbolic significance. This is where Abraham first encountered the Lord, where Jacob purchased his first plot of land, and where the Israelites reaffirmed their covenant with God. Joshua, at the end of his life, gathers the people at Shechem and delivers a final, impassioned speech. The Israelites, in a moment of collective fervor, declare their unwavering commitment to the Lord. They will serve no other gods, and they will obey His commandments. It is a moment of perfect unity, a high point in the narrative of the Deuteronomistic history. Yet, the seeds of apostasy are already sown. As Joshua dies and the mantle of leadership passes to the next generation, the unity of the Israelites begins to fray. The book of Judges chronicles a period of decline, where the people, time and again, turn away from the Lord. The charismatic judges who arise to lead them are not the same as Joshua. They are zealous, but lack the inspired leadership that kept the people on the path of righteousness. The once disciplined army splinters into local guerrilla bands, and the land falls into a state of chaos and violence. One of the most shocking episodes in this period is the razing of Shechem by Abimelech. Abimelech, a renegade king, slays his fellow heirs and consolidates power through violence and treachery. The resistance to his rule comes not from loyal Israelites, but from the indigenous Shechemites, descendants of the very people the Israelites had once conquered. The destruction of Shechem is a turning point, a symbol of the internal decay that is beginning to consume the nation. The violence escalates in the final chapters of the book of Judges. The story of the Levite and his concubine is a tale of unspeakable brutality. In a chilling echo of the Sodom and Gomorrah narrative, the Benjaminites demand sexual access to a visitor. And when the host offers his daughter and his own concubine, the Benjaminites refuse. The Levite, in a moment of horrific desperation, hands over his concubine to the mob, and they rape her to death. The Levite, finding her dead body the next morning, cuts her into pieces and sends them to the tribes of Israel as a call to arms. The result is a civil war that brings the nation to the brink of self-destruction. The downward spiral continues through the books of Samuel and Kings. The establishment of the monarchy, with Saul and then David, offers a brief respite from the chaos. David, in particular, is a king who seeks to restore the covenant with the Lord and bring unity to the nation. However, even David's reign is marred by sin and rebellion, and his successors fail to maintain the covenant. The kingdom eventually splits into Israel and Judah, and both nations drift further from the Lord. The final chapters of the Deuteronomistic history are a grim culmination of the apostasy that has been building for generations. The prophet Jeremiah warns of the coming judgment, and the Babylonian exile becomes the fulfillment of the curses predicted in Deuteronomy. The last king of Judah, Zedekiah, witnesses the execution of his sons and is himself blinded and taken into captivity. The temple is destroyed, and the people are carried away into exile, a stark reminder of the consequences of forsaking the Lord. In the end, the Deuteronomistic history is a story of a people who, despite their covenant with God, choose to walk their own path. It is a narrative of faith and betrayal, of divine intervention and human failure. The land that once promised so much becomes a place of desolation and sorrow. The genocidal conquest at the beginning is mirrored by the genocidal destruction at the end, a cycle of violence that leaves a lasting mark on the human soul. The sun sets on this ancient land, and the shadows grow long. The story of the Deuteronomistic history is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the consequences of forgetting the covenant. The end is short, but its echo is long, resonating through the ages as a testament to the enduring power of faith and the tragic nature of apostasy.